We'll talk about the transactions today. So we selected the contract of Dilson Herrera. We DFA'd Mason Williams, and we added DJ Stewart to our roster today.
All right, Rakabako, you can lead us off.
Brandon, did you feel like you needed the infield depth with Hanser's knee and him being day-to-day? Is that why Dilson's here?
Yeah, so Alberto hurt his knee a little bit when he drag bunt there in the 10th inning or whatever that inning that was, kind of hurt it jamming it into the base, felt some knee soreness, didn't finish the game. And then today does feel better. So we're encouraged by that. But he is definitely day-to-day. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to play this series. So with an off day on Thursday, we added Dilson.
Next up, Brett Hollander. Brett, go ahead.
Hey, Brandon, I know obviously there were some tough losses on the road trip, but are you able to take away the weekend Ryan Mountcastle had, the start Keegan Aiken had, the appearance Dylan Tate had, and say that there's a lot of good still going on even when those tough losses come?
Yeah, I mean, you think about the road trip there, we lost, played 6 games, lost 5, had a chance to win all 5 of those, or at least both games in Tampa were close. Do some things defensively a little bit differently. Those games change, and obviously had a chance to win 2 other of those games for sure. And in Buffalo, that we just didn't get done. So disappointing road trip, and that felt like we had a chance to win some other games and not go 1-5, but just we didn't finish games very well. We made too many mistakes in the middle parts of games to not allow us to extend leads, etc. But yeah, I think the highlights was Aiken for sure. His aggressiveness in the strike zone yesterday, really pitched well against a tough lineup. I thought Jorge Lopez threw the ball great. The day before that also, we made a mistake defensively in his inning to allow a run, or he would have gone 5 on kind of a limited pitch count against a good offensive club, throwing a heavy sinker. So both those guys, I thought, guys that were, we want to look at here, both threw the ball very, very well, both those guys. And then Ryan had a really nice road trip swinging the bat. And you start to see the improvement in his at-bats day to day. Really like the contact he's making with 2 strikes. Obviously, like the homers that he hit, made a really nice play defensively. So good things from Ryan on the trip as well.
Dan Connolly.
Yeah, Brandon, can you give us a sense of what the decision was in the outfield there, what DJ did to get himself back up, and what the thoughts were on Mason? Yeah,
DJ's been swinging the bat very well in our secondary site. Wanted to see him get back up here, and he's going to be in the mix. I'm going to try to get him in the lineup also. But another young player that we need to find out more about and try to get him some more bats. And so that's why he's here got here today, and I'm going to try to get him in the lineup.
Thoughts on Mason Williams?
I thought Mason was kind of covering us a little bit for Mountcastle, just with Mountcastle's inexperience defensively. And I think Ryan started to get a lot more comfortable there in left field. He saw that the last couple of days. So it was more about getting DJ here than anything else.
Next up, Stan Charles.
Brandon, I sort of have a feeling how you'll answer this, but I want to hear how much conviction you have. Hunter Harvey, is he going to ever – do you feel confident that he can still be a guy that you can count on more than just every other day in between stops on the IL?
Yeah, I want to believe that. I think that he needs to prove health, though. And, he's had some bad luck injuries also in his career. But yeah, I mean, you look at the guy, watch him pitch, you definitely want him to be available because the stuff is so good. So I think that it's, injuries are a part of this game, and some guys have more injuries earlier on in their career and bounce back. I want to believe that he's going to be able to be a reliable back-end bullpen guy. I'm still holding out hope for that because the arm is so special.
And can I ask you a follow-up on that is, are you convinced that given how the trend is for starters to only go 5 innings or so, that his future is definitely as a high-end guy in the end of the bullpen rather than a once-a-week starter?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think he's got a reliever mentality. And I think that he'd rather be in the bullpen, honestly, as well. And I think that's where that fits best, not only medically, but in his personality. And I'm hoping to reverse the trend on the 5-inning thing too. So hopefully down the road, we're talking about 7 innings.
Rich Dubroff, go ahead.
Brandon, what's the latest on Austin Hayes?
Feeling a lot better. Feeling a lot better. Should resume baseball activities here in the next few days. So hopefully on the right track to join us sometime, I don't know, in the next 2 weeks.
Mark Viviano.
Mark, you're on mute.
My bad. Sorry about that. You come out of another trade deadline, having parted with some pretty good players, and it's part of the deal. It's part of the big picture. How much of a test is that to adjust your mentalities? You try to get guys ready to win every night, yet you're obviously still having to focus on a big picture.
Yeah, it's not easy, and that's part of this process that we're in. And I think that's very, very realistic. I think everybody knew that going into what the possibilities were. We are in year 2 of this, and so we're still, Mike's got big picture in mind, and trying to get as much talent in our organization as possible for sustained success over time. And I totally get that. We lost 4 pitchers that were very, very helpful, and it's part of the game right now and part of the business side of it. And this now just creates more opportunity for other guys. A guy like Dylan Tate that I might not have pitched in that situation yesterday, right? So for him to go in and do that, hopefully he continues to throw the ball like that the rest of the season. But yeah, losing some good players, losing some guys that we did rely on, that hurt us in that Buffalo series. Those guys were were unavailable for me, and they it hurt us there later parts of a couple of those games. But it's just the way it is, the way it goes, and you do the best with the 28 guys you have in our clubhouse, and try to get these guys better.
John Mioli, go ahead.
Brandon, on the pitching side, sometimes when guys have to go up and down between Norfolk and the big leagues, it's hard to work on stuff because they're trying to get results and get back up and be able to help the team. Do you find that guys are coming back with different experiences, able to work on stuff more at the Bowie side where there's not any pressure to do that?
Yeah, I think it's definitely more individualized. I think you get it good and bad, and the good in that you have more time, more instructors, no pressure to really work on things that you need to work on and improve on. But at the same time, you're not getting the game experience and might not be in game shape, from a defensive side or base running, those type of things. That's just it's tough to simulate those that aren't when you're not playing just a game. So, but I do think it is nice, as it's kind of like an instructional league feel where you have plenty of time to get at bats, maybe more at bats a day than you normally would, as well as more time to work on your craft than you would when you're trying to put up stats every single night in a season.
Follow up from John Mioli. John, go ahead.
Sorry, completely different topic, and I don't know if you've addressed it recently, but is Chris Davis able to do anything at this point down there? Is he doing baseball activities, rehabbing, anything?
No, he's not yet. Not yet. Nope. Still resting his knee.
Stan Charles, go ahead.
Brandon, when you were hired, I'm assuming that you didn't know Gary Kendall particularly well or know him at all. I was just wanted to hear your thoughts on the job he's doing in the organization.
I actually did know Gary.
Okay.
We managed against each other 2005, maybe 2005 or 6, South Atlantic League. He was in Delmarva. I was in Greensboro. So
Okay.
I know him from back then. And yeah, he's done, him and Buck Britton both, they do a great job down in our buoys, our secondary site. I was texting with them this morning a little bit about DJ and Herrera. But yeah, I think Gary's a real class act, true pro baseball man. I like his insight. I like his opinions. And I think he does a phenomenal job.